I don't believe I'm gonna die from spitting on a piece of ice. I don't believe I'm gonna die because I got a bad heart. I don't believe I'm gonna die because of lung cancer. I believe that I'm going to be able to die what I was just the thing that I was born for. I believe that I'm going to be able to die high off the people. I believe that I will be able to die as a revolutionary in the international revolutionary folk struggle.
I believe that the white man has done a great injustice to the black man in this country by having kidnapped our people and brought us here and down to the level that we're on today. And today, instead of approaching the factors that their original mistake has created, instead of approaching these factors objectively and realistically, the greatest sin that they're doing now is trying to pretend that they never committed a crime, that they never did any wrong. And when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad points out the injustices that our people are suffering, they make that sin worse by accusing him of teaching hate, or by accusing him of black supremacy, or by accusing him of advocating violence, simply because he is pointing out the real factors in the problem.
We have a little time left. You don't have to hurry so much, Malcolm.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
she was on TV.
As the king's brother, you should have been first in line.
Well, I was first in line until the little hairball was born.
That hairball is my son.
Is that what you were trying to get to?
Trying to get.
You bite the fry bites back, my man. Damn, damn, damn. Crispy crunch.
Let me put my mind on something that'll motivate me to manifest.
Talking about doing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, HT aka Higher Thinking. He's back.
I know, right?
The movie star. The movie star is back, everybody.
What kanji call me? Hollywood Real and shit?
Hollywood Real. What's
Yeah.
What's your name, though? What's the name for real? What's the real stage name?
Man, just real, man. You know, just me, man. You know, just out here, just doing what I can do when I can do it, and still helping people. You know, get fit, get in shape. You know that's my main thing is health and fitness. So, yeah, man, that's it, man. I'm happy to be back, though, man. Thank you, man, for letting me come back on here and talk some shit. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my thing, only problem I got with you is you this great big movie star, but you don't know how to speak to the camera. You know what I'm saying?
I got.
You gotta talk to America.
Well, you talk, not to look at the camera and shit. So you gotta be
oh,
like,
okay. So
you gotta be
my
focused
bad.
in,
you
know.
You saw how bad my acting was.
Yeah,
so maybe
yeah.
maybe I do to be listening to y'all.
It's still a cool intro, though.
I'm over here trying to give you the real. Okay, yeah, you're right. Don't look at the camera. Well, in the podcast world, we ain't got the choice.
Right.
America wants to look into our eyes when we tell the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want I'm not gonna say this too many times because I think I don't want people to I don't want to give off the secret. But I mean, for people that watch right now, I'll definitely get in the secret. But a lot of the videos that I pulled to create that intro, a lot of people kind of thought that it was just a bunch of random footage I threw together. Like, no, not necessarily. Mm-hmm. There was actually what I was actually doing was acting out the 7 deadly sins.
Oh,
so like the first one you saw Diddy, that was Pride, right?
Right.
So like because he's talking about he got to wash his hands because he outside and he just interacting with with the community and stuff. And then like with the DuckTales when he was done, that's obviously Greed, right?
Yep, with the money. Yep.
And then and I'll let everybody kind of figure out the other ones. But the last one was Sloth. You know what I'm saying? Where you just kind of just, you got those days where you don't feel like doing anything else but like playing the game or something like that. When you could be doing something so much more productive. That's pretty much me. That was me like a couple years ago when I'm like, you know what, it's time for me to start doing something a little bit different. You know what I mean? Picked up this hobby and look at me now. You know what I mean?
I know, man. It's a great show, man. Thanks, I love the things that you talk about, man. You dive so deep, man, with so much intellect. You waking a lot of people up, and man, I really love being on here, man. I love talking to you, man. I love diving deep into some of this stuff, man. And I like what you're doing with this, man.
And then assisting with some solutions, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you got, like I said, the big things. The big thing I like about my perspective, right, is we're not gonna find a solution to this scenario, this situation that we're in, by only having one view of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like a lot of how YouTube kind of works is you kind of do need to play into like one specific way of thinking. I think that like look. I know people got their way of like, oh man, no, I like low key. That's anti-black. I think limiting our perspective, limiting our voices, limiting our what's the word? Imagination, if you will, our scope, the way we think. That's anti-black. And there's some things I learned from all walks of life, even the ones that are on the fringe side. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think this is a good idea for this.
Well, I'm glad you said that, right? About imagination, because if we look at it, black people have contributed to the entire United States, through all of our innovations, man. I just found out a black guy was the one who created the damn helicopter and shit, So, yeah, man. So, I mean, when you talk about that, yeah, it's good to still, even as an adult, to have a certain imagination, man. Think of things, create, you know what I mean? Because our entire culture, right, was built on creation, you know what I mean? From the little bit that we did have and things that we weren't able to patent or whatever. You're right, man. That is a little bit anti-black when you don't look at things from a creative perspective, because we are a creative people, and that's all we do is create. So, yeah.
And that creation and all of our creations led us to a place of better understanding. You know what I'm saying? That helicopter, I didn't know about that.
A black man was innovative in helping the microphone, man. The very thing that we're talking on this podcast right now, man. So.
Black man gave us light, bro, and without the light, we won't be able to see. We won't be half as productive as we are as we are today. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So like I said, there's a lot of crazy opinions out there. We get it, but like low key out there, learn something from every space that I was in. Even though these dudes are clearly anti-black themselves. I made my way out of that. And now I'm trying to have a discussion with all my people so we can figure out how we finally start taking steps in the right direction.
True indeed.
That's exactly what we're gonna be talking about today, especially in terms of discussing about politics. And but first we're gonna have a little bit of fun. You know what I'm saying? But if anybody that don't know, this is our first time here. How we typically do things here on the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast, we'll have 3 segments. And then we'll separate each segment and me introing and outroing each and individual segment. When I outro a segment, don't think I'm ending the show. That's just that one segment. You'll know when the show is over. You know what I'm saying?
He'll tell you.
You know what I'm saying? So there's one more thing I want to say. It ain't coming to me though. Otherwise, no. What you been on, man? Like what's life been like?
Life been great. Just been just staying on my health and fitness, man. Just trying to get my page up, my Instagram. Just want to work more about health and fitness, man, and just been kind of trying to get my little resume up for acting, man. I'm new, I'm fresh, about to sign up for some acting classes and stuff. So just trying to perfect that craft and still just stay on the health and fitness, man.
So what you're saying is I'm actually making history right now. I'm the first dude that interviewed.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah, for sure, definitely.
First man interview.
Listen, man.
Hollywood Real.
Hey man, listen, man. Whatever God got for you, man, it's gonna happen. So whatever I do in this life, man, that shit's gonna be successful. It's gonna turn into gold. So I'm just thrilled, man, about being able to, be on podcasts like this, get my voice out, and be around other intelligent people, man. Yeah. So yeah, man.
I'm glad you're really hitting it right now because no mind you're FBA, you also AK Friedman. Yeah, we got a little bit extra time. We got a little bit extra time with our baby, with our little pretty faces and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got a lot of time to get it together. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to do it when when you're young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But all jokes aside, though, we are very very happy to have you here again. You've definitely been one of my easily one of my favorite guests. And I definitely can't wait to have a more future conversations in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like y'all, like I said, we as far as myself, y'all, y'all probably seen it so far. I'm gonna be, I think I dropped like 4 shorts like yesterday. I think 3 or 4 more dropped today. These shorts are gonna be dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. So like I've been super busy during this last week. Actually, like this past like 2 months actually. As far as this channel is concerned, we're gonna have content, more videos coming out all throughout the week. Most like so like every day until at the very least the middle of March. It's already pre-uploaded. I've pre-uploaded videos. You know what I'm saying? So that and also all the conversations we're gonna be having in the future is gonna keep us going. Like we're gonna be hitting 2026 extremely hard, bro. I do expect great growth for this channel just off of that alone. But for everybody out there that decides to like, comment, hype, and subscribe, and just to help us out with the algorithm, we very much so appreciate that as well. That's how we get our voices out there. I'm letting y'all know right now. I just kind of explained it just a couple minutes ago. This the way we kind of do things on this channel, the fact that I have different people of different like perspectives on this channel all the time, and we're always at odds and having different like a perspective. It's hard to gain like a following or an audience off of this type of format. Usually like the bigger channels get like the other channels like skyrocket because they stick to like one genre. They stick to one like echo chamber type of strategy. You know what I'm saying? This is not an echo chamber. This like you're gonna get ladies that's gonna be talking about feminism. You're gonna have ladies that's talking about things that's anti-feminist. You know what I'm saying? You got me that's more so on like the leftist side, and I have a lot of friends that are very anti that. And we have an example right now. Rail, he's FBA. I qualify as FBA, but I rather call myself American Freedman or Hebrew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of things we qualify under. You know what I'm saying? But politically, that's why I choose. So I'm just saying like this is how we kind of gonna be doing things over here. So if y'all can just please just show support in the best way you can. Not even asking for nobody. I'm not even asking out for no money. You know what I'm saying? Again, just like it, comment, hype it, and then subscribe. Yeah. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, you ready?
I am, man. I forgot to mention one more thing too. I'm still working on my comic book, man. Hopefully that drop sometime this year, man. So hopefully, man, y'all be able to check that out too. I'm gonna have a comic book coming out, man.
Yeah, that's definitely looking forward to that one. And I can't wait to be the first one to buy one. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, it's gonna be dope as fuck too, man.
All right, the Bears. Okay. All right, what's up, Herb? I always do this thing where I just talk to it. I get so worked up from the whole. All right,
yeah.
All right, we got it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, HT, aka Higher Thinking, and I'm joined today with my co-host,
Sherelle.
He gonna leave me hanging. It's all good though.
I'm sorry, brother. I was trying to look at the camera. Like you told me. It's awesome.
No, I thought they told you not to look at the camera.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, today we gonna be talking about the Hammond Bears. We talk Arlington Heights.
God damn.
Which one is it? I don't know, man. They got to figure it out, man. Real, how long you been a Bears fan, man? Tell me about a little bit of history with the Bears, man.
Shit, man, all my life. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in a household where everybody loved the Bears and the Bulls, and you know what I mean. We all
and the Chicago Fire, right? The Chicago Fire.
No sir, not that. That's some new stuff. I tried to play soccer one time, and I swear to God, man, I had never been so embarrassed in sports in my life.
Shout out to the Fire, though. We love y'all, though.
Yeah, boy. The Mexicanos was kicking my ass, man. I didn't know soccer was that physical. I'm a football player. And they was like pushing me and shit, elbowing me like, yeah, nah.
I know they got physical like that.
Yeah, you can't really use your hands and stuff, but
you can still toss.
They can still kind of nudge you or whatever. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that. But no, hey, look, man, I've been a Bears fan forever, man. I remember getting excited when they made it to the Super Bowl and Devin Hester ran back that kick return, man, for that touchdown. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget those moments of watching, man. I went to the game one time, and I saw Brian Urlacher pick off Brett Favre, man, run back a 50-some yard touchdown. So, man, Chicago with the history of the Bears, man, is just it's embedded in me. So yeah,
amazing.
This a subject for me, you know.
Excellent. So I'm glad you here to have this conversation with me then. Yeah, for me, unfortunately, every time I watch the Bears, they lose. So I just decided that, you know what, maybe it's me. So I kind of divested myself from the fandom a little bit.
You're in a cheese head now.
I'm not. But I try when it comes up in conversation. I do. I try my best to keep up. But that's why as far as right now is concerned, I kind of see what's kind of happening. I kind of see things on from maybe a different perspective that I think I'll be able to have. I'll be able to contribute a little bit to this conversation. But I'm definitely very happy that you actually you bleed this stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you know how it all kind of started, right? With Lori Lightfoot and how that all kind of started, where they tried to create this new stadium because they needed more space. Is that correct? Or they tried to? What was like the whole? How did it get started? If you know better than I do.
I've heard little things here and there. I think it's more they wanted to create a dome.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to. They probably wouldn't say this, but I think they're trying to kind of compete with like the Cowboys and a lot of these other teams that's making all of these kind of new age like stadiums where they got domes and they got this and they got that. So yeah, and also it might be a money thing. Chicago have very high taxes. So a lot of this stuff comes down to money.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so they want more. They want to be able to hold more fans there. As we know, the Bears fan base, it is growing despite the times that we do lose. That fan base is growing. So maybe they do want more room for fans, but I think it comes down to really taxes, money, and trying to what the old people say, man, keeping up with the Joneses, man.
Yeah.
They're trying to compete.
Trying to look fancy.
You know what I mean? Like with other stadiums that have renovated, innovated, and moved. You know what I mean? Like what was that team that moved? Well, the Raiders, how they moved from Oakland to Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Changing names, like the Chargers, and so it's all like it's money behind it all, man. Although I don't think this is just not a good. Because think about it, when Raiders moved to Las Vegas. That was a good money move because
it's Las Vegas.
It's Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying? People come there, they gamble. You have a lot of residencies there with a lot of artists and things like that. So it's a high traffic, place. It's not that's not a bad move.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody give a damn how many times the goddamn Raiders win or lose. It's in Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Like
they feel like they entitled to a football team.
Right? Who wouldn't want to go to Las Vegas and shit? You know what I mean? Like, even though Raiders they might lose, but hey, we going to Vegas. You know what I mean? So I don't know nobody excited about going to Hammond, Indiana.
That's
I've never heard that.
That's funny too, because like imagine going to a football game or any game for that matter, but a football game in Vegas, you'd be like, damn man, we lost, but like. We still in Vegas.
Yeah,
we still have a good ass time.
We about to turn up, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
but imagine going to Hammond, Indiana, and going like, damn, we lost. What's out here to do?
Yeah, think about this shit, man. Yeah, think about this shit. You go to Hammond, Indiana for a football game and whatever, right? And Bears, God forbid, they lose or your team or whatever loses. In Chicago, man, you could just step right out, hit up a couple of bars, go to Wrigley Field, you know what I mean? Hit up River North, West Loop, food, you know what I mean? Like entertainment. You can't get that shit in Hammond, Indiana, man.
Shout out to Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we love y'all over there. But
y'all more of like an industrial place, you know what I mean? Like you go to Hammond, Indiana when you want to get the cheap gas and the cigarettes and get pulled over by the police and shit because they racist as hell out there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
that stuff.
Right.
So I'm 1,000%. I don't know what to say. I'm 1,000% with you as far as like that's concerned. But yeah, because it's kind of going back to how it all kind of like started. Like I said, they wanted some sort of well, first of all, it did kind of start with the former mayor and the Bears, Chicago Bears, trying to secure a deal with her as far as selecting a place to create this new stadium. I think from what I'm understanding, there was the NFL was going to foot a lot of the bill, if not the whole thing. I'm not quite sure if it was the whole thing. They was going to foot quite a significant portion of the bill, and then Lori Lightfoot just met the situation with Animus, and then it didn't go through. So then, since that didn't work out, NFL decided to look elsewhere as far as their investments. And but the Bears still was looking to create a new dome and stuff.
Yeah.
But now this time they want the city to invest. Put some money into it.
Chicago.
Yeah, they want to start. Yeah, so
we ain't finna support that shit. I'm telling you right now,
we don't have the money.
We're not about to support. They want the citizens, or they gonna force us
it's coming out of tax dollars.
With the housing thing, with Johnson, Mayor Johnson and shit.
They wanted Mayor Johnson to come over. Hey, we you know who we are. We want to stay Chicago Bears. How about y'all cut us a deal? Otherwise, we gonna move to Arlington Heights. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they wanted. So they basically want us for to pay higher taxes to keep the Bears in Chicago.
I mean that's probably what's going to out of it. That's what was gonna that's what a mess around would end up happening with them building a whole new stadium. Like someone's gonna have to pay for it. Somebody's gonna have to pay for it.
Right.
And like the Bears, I can't tell you what happened within within the office of Brandon in the mayor's office, or how those deals kind of went down, but. Don't sound like he was Brandon Johnson was open to the type of deal that the Bears was trying to present. Like it sounded like they wanted to, hey, can we get some deals out here? Can we, there was some bargaining going on,
And this is just another thing that you done fucked up, Mayor Brandon Johnson. Okay, just want to let you know that. All right.
Oh man, I don't my thing is I don't want to put it on Brandon Johnson because there was a good deal that was on the table that again the former mayor chose not to act on, and I also just don't know. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I do know. I'll tell you right now, we ain't got the money to be footing no type of bill like that. We just don't. We tried to secure the damn toll booths, and that wasn't a good idea no more. I think it was the parking meters were like that. That didn't work. And all that shit aside.
Well, they sold that shit too.
Yeah, so it's definitely a mess. It's definitely a mess, but it's not all of his own. Not all of his own on the mayor. I don't think. And I just don't think, in my humblest opinion, I don't think it's the right time for him to make for him to throw us at the wolves or throw us at the Bears, if you will, to make this stadium thing work.
Yeah, well, we got to get our money back for all the money we done spent on the migrants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's.
Because we used up a lot of funds to fund them. No offense to them, because hey, asylum is asylum, but damn,
man,
we gave all the dollars to them and shit, but it's cool.
That's a tough situation too.
It is, yeah.
I ain't gonna speak on that right now. That's a conversation another day.
Yeah.
There's a whole that's a whole nother can of worms. But all that aside, so that's why they made that's why Arlington Heights try to come in and try to make a if you come over here, we can offer you this, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how these things kind of made. And then very recently, and that's the video we're going to be getting into right now.
Okay.
Indiana has some things they wanted to offer to the Bears. I can't call them Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I don't know what shit.
Matter of fact, we're going to talk about it, but let's get into the video.
Okay.
Well, potentially big developments in the battle over the new Bears Stadium. Crane's Chicago Business now reporting this morning the Chicago Bears are narrowing their focus for a new stadium to the Wolf Lake area in Hammond, Indiana. Now, if they choose to go to the state, Indiana's legislature is set to discuss a bill to fund a potential Bears stadium in the Hoosier State. Reports say the Bears are expected to make a statement confirming interest in that site, but will not make a full commitment. All of this comes as a pivotal hearing in Springfield today that would have determined whether the Bears build a new stadium in Arlington Heights was suddenly canceled within the last hour or so. Now, sources telling us Illinois lawmakers wanted to work through some additional details in the mega project assessment freeze and payment law before bringing it forward. The plan aimed to freeze the Bears' property tax assessment for up to 40 years and provide over $850 million in infrastructure support.
You see what I mean by that? Let's listen a little while.
Argue taxpayers should not fund an NFL franchise.
So yeah, you see what I mean by like these deals that they trying to. You see what I mean? They trying to make these deals and stuff like that to make it sweet for them and all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, if that tax freeze for 40 years, like really. But yeah, then I think they're offering they're offering all this money to assist with the development as well.
How is Hammond gonna pay for it? Hammond ain't got no money, man. Hammond don't have nothing that what they got the one college out there. Hammond don't got no goddamn money. What they gonna give more niggas tickets that's coming over across the border to get gas? I just don't understand, man. It's kind of sound like they making some empty promises.
From my understanding, well, first of all, you're absolutely right. It's definitely going to be a financial difficulty resetting up in Hammond, Indiana again, because the economy there is a lot different. As a matter of fact, I think in Chicago, the metropolitan area, the metro area is the average income is $100,000 a year, right? In Chicagoland area itself, average about $70,000 a year. In Hammond, Indiana, average about $50,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And that's not. I mean, it's cool, but it's just, they're gonna have to. That is gonna be reflected in those ticket prices. So they're already gonna be making less money setting up over there. They're gonna be enjoying those. I mean, like I said, Hammond, Indiana, they doing their best to make it sweet for them. The taxes, all that stuff. They're trying to make it. They really. I think they're coming at it from a developmental perspective. They think this is gonna be this big start that they need to attract businesses and bring a lot of hustle and bustle to that part of Indiana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it won't work. There's multiple reasons why I just kind of just think that it just won't work. Number one, okay, I love the Bears. We all know that, but the Bears has not been a quote unquote winning team, and so to bring a team there that's really just hanging on by the thread because they Chicago, because a lot of people are just fans of the Bears because they really from Chicago, not because they out there doing amazing stuff. I mean, if you really look at it, the Bears, we have had the worst quarterbacks in QB fucking history. I mean, we just luckily just end up getting Caleb Williams, here recently. But the Bears has not put on anything that would make you say, oh, you know what? I'll follow that team anywhere they go. You know what I mean? You got some real Green Bay fans. If Green Bay came to Chicago, people probably would still be Green Bay fans. If Green Bay fans, if they went all the way to California, people still. If the Bears move anywhere besides Chicago, they're gonna lose a lot of their fan base. Nobody is really Bears fans because they're winning. People are Bears fans because of the history.
History with Chicago.
The history with Chicago. Walter Payton and all of that.
Walter Payton.
Gale Sayers, man. Dick Buckus.
Shovel.
Brian Urlacher, man. Devin Hester. Okay, see, we fans because of that, and that name that that Chicago was behind that name, and then what are we gonna call them? The Hammond Bears now?
Let me say something. Man. So what do you think? What do you think what do you think that is? Do you think they can carry that legacy to Hammond, Indiana? Let me phrase the question like this: do you think them keeping the name the Chicago Bears and then they take that and move that to Hammond, Indiana? Do you think they can keep hold of that legacy?
No, because they're not quote unquote a winning team. Now, if they came and like won the Super Bowl or something like that, maybe. But even then, they can't. It would be impossible because Chicago is literally like the backbone of the Bears because of the fans. The Bears don't have a team that make you say, "Damn, they good. Let's watch them." It's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Steelers left Pittsburgh, people still love the damn Steelers. I ain't met not one person that's not from Chicago that like the Bears. I'm just being honest. Like I don't meet people you can meet people from goddamn like you can meet people that's in other countries that like the Cowboys, that like the Steelers. People in other cities don't even like the Bears and shit. People in our own city don't even like the fucking Bears.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. Like you got a lot of Green Bay fans right here in Chicago that love Green Bay and fucking hate the Bears. They're not holding on to anything. They haven't produced anything besides one Super Bowl like 50 years ago in 1985, more like 40, right? And yeah, that's it.
So
yeah, and a couple of players that icons. You know what I mean?
yeah. So you're saying that due to due to what they produce as a team, that's pretty much gonna be the main reason that's gonna hold them back for them gaining support over there in Indiana. So, but again, if they retain that name, again, the Chicago Bears. I'll ask you this question then. Them keeping that name and taking it to Indiana, how do I put this? Do you think that's gonna lose? Okay, matter of fact, let me phrase the question like this. I got a lot of editing to do, obviously. I'm gonna ask you this question now. With them keeping the name the Chicago Bears and taking it to Indiana. You said that the main reason Chicago Bears are so popular right now is because of the name itself, the Chicago Bears, and all the history that is attached to that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you think that name being taken across that border to Indiana is going to attract those same fans to Indiana?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's a good question. I see what you're saying. That's a good question. I just feel like I think that the Bears still will lose money because the Bears Stadium is in such a great place, for attraction. Far as like, you can leave a Bears Stadium and literally go 20, 30 minutes, probably less, in each direction and kind of find your way to something. The West Loop is like directly right there. Then you got River North like 10 minutes probably up the street. You can make it right back to the south side, right from the stadium. It's gonna be difficult for people. I don't think that the bars and things in Indiana can sustain the amount of fans. We have like Wrigley Field.
I think about that.
Wrigley Field have like 100 goddamn bars, man, like 100 or more.
If one is packed up to the
You know
brim,
what I'm
you
saying?
go to the next.
West Loop got like hundreds of restaurants right in that place right there. The south side, a lot of people live on the south side. A lot of fans live on the north side. It just would not be good marketing to have them. And then think about this. If Hammond, Indiana say, okay, we're going to spend all this money, we're going to do all of this for you guys to come here, and you're going to keep your same name, there's no way they would want to do that. People in Hammond, Indiana would start complaining, hey, we want this name to be changed and this and that. It's going to become a problem at some point. They're going to want to be called. They're going to want a team that plays in their home state. They're going to want them to bear their name. You just ain't going to be able to go to Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, although it's close, right? You're just not gonna be able to go there and just say, "Hey, we're gonna still be called the Chicago this and that." Not gonna happen.
You know, there's a reason. How do I put? I forgot to spell.
Look at that.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, people not gonna be wanting to travel from all the way up north, fight through the traffic to get all the way to Hammond, Indiana, man.
Yeah, I have to.
A lot of white people don't even like going to the south side. You got to go through the south side to get to Hammond, Indiana. White people don't want to go or catch the tollway, you know what I'm saying? But white people don't want to travel through no damn south side. They're going to be getting I could see them seeing, okay, maybe this is a little bit more beneficial for tollway, maybe, you know, you get a little bit more money that way because all of the fans coming from the north side to travel over to Hammond, Indiana, they got to take that tollway to get there.
Yeah.
Because them white people ain't going to want to drive through Indiana, the south side.
So they trying to find out, they expect the Chicago fans to follow the Chicago Bears to Hammond, Indiana. That's what I actually read, and I'm concerned about that idea because first of all, it's an assumption that Bears fans are that strong a fan. And mind you, I wouldn't know because I'm not a Bears fan.
No, we got a strong fan base, but we barely hanging on, man. Like, if Caleb Williams had never came, man, you'd have lost a lot of Bears fans.
So I'm just because that's why I'm asking all these extra qualifying questions. All these extra. There's new variables here, because you just laid it down. Like this is the Chicago Bears, Soldier Field, a lot of history here. But if you switch it up on them and then take the Chicago brand to Indiana, and y'all expecting us to just start flocking over there across the border and into Hammond, Indiana to watch a Chicago Bears game, is that really a plausible idea? Is it really possible for something like that to work on Chicago Bears fans? For me, I'm a very how do I put this? Well, I'm gonna say like this. In this context, in this scenario, it's easier for me to be rational. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that glitz and glamour of being a Bear. I'm outside looking in, right? But as a person that's on the outside looking in, I'm looking at yet another example, and this is left field. That's why I say that's why I kind of preface by saying I'm coming from a different angle. This is another way of Indiana. Listen, Indiana. Despite our politics and how much I don't like how things are being ran over there. I don't like what was going on with what's that girl named Caitlin Clark? How all of a sudden everybody wanted to start flocking to those women because he was like a little white girl and all that stuff. All that aside, I still got love for you. You know, my people that stay in Indiana. I still got love for y'all.
There's a lot of love for y'all in Indiana.
But there's a lot of y'all. There's a lot of them living on the cross that border, coming to Chicago for work and bringing our money to Indiana and to Indiana's ecosystem and you know what I'm saying, it's a little economy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
See, Hammond looking at this shit like this is a good investment, right?
Yeah, they looking at it from the money aspect. They're not looking at it from a Bears fan love of football perspective. They want to make cash. So I'm just saying, if we want to talk about money, okay, let's talk about money then. Since we want to talk about money, Chicago and especially Illinois. Illinois itself is one of the 14 states in America that gives more to the government than it receives. And Indiana is not one of those 14 states.
Right.
And it getting as close as it is because of its proximity to Chicago, Right. Yeah. And that money, and I'm just saying, that money that goes to Indiana from Chicago don't come back to Chicago unless they want to buy some food or something like that.
Right.
I
told you, niggas be going across there to get gas and cigarettes, man.
So yeah,
so we
get them money because of the gas too, right?
Yeah, right.
I was just saying this.
Ain't nobody going over to Hammond, Indiana for anything else.
Right. And
I ain't never heard of myself. I'm going to Hammond and get some food. They got some good tacos over there. I ain't never heard nobody say that.
I'm worried about this being a financial scheme. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
so. I think it is, man. I think they promising them more than they can give, and I really believe if the Bears went over to Hammond, Indiana, they're gonna lose. I'm not saying all, but they're gonna lose a significant amount of their fan base, and they're gonna lose some money. Chicago gonna lose some money. I ain't saying there's enough to make some of these bars and restaurants go bankrupt, but it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit pretty big. Don't nobody want to be no Indiana Bears. We already having a hard time holding on to these niggas just them being Chicago, bro. Now you want to put them in Indiana? Damn.
I'm gonna ask this last question. I'm personally be done with it.
Okay.
Do you think them deciding on keeping the name as Chicago instead of changing it to Hammond? Do you think this is a plan or a scheme to kite Chicago fans to Indiana to continue watching Chicago football?
It could help. I could see that helping them keeping the name. I doubt it'd be strong enough. The location, the location of just Soldier Field is so iconic, man. Mm-hmm. It's the dopest shit in the world, man. To go to that stadium and then you got the whole city surrounding you, man. That's a scenery. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. Any place you go, you do pay for scenery. That's why California is so high. You know what I'm saying? That's why it costs to live in Hyde Park and downtown and River North area, because you paying for that scenery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fans love coming to Chicago. You know how many people love coming to Chicago? People love it here, man. Like, people love how our skyline look. They love it here. So
I think it's the best skyline in America.
It is, and it's been voted to be the best skyline in America, man. Listen, I have people that came here from New York, California, man. People love it. They love to be able to eat when you want to eat. The skyline be popping. You know what I'm saying? Summertime shy, how Kanye say. It is dope. Ain't nobody gonna want to goddamn look at no fucking cornfields and shit.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming out to look at no damn. Oh, look at that! Look at that damn cornfield. I might want to see that shit, man. Like, we come out, you come out the
smokestacks and all that stuff from the
you
factories.
Come out the Bears Stadium, you walk right under the goddamn thing, go where you get your car parked, where you done parked that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You walking right through that little area they got over there. It's like a little park or whatever. And man, you right in West Loop. You right there. Like, you can go right here to this restaurant, this bar, right here. Man, come on, man. Like, that's like the Cubs saying we finna move out of Wrigley Field. Man, what? Fuck out of here. Nobody gonna. I mean, we got a bigger Cubs
I think so too.
fan base than we do Bears. But what I'm saying is, like, that scenery too great. That scenery too great. That'll be stupid. You can try to keep the name, but it won't really keep the fans. I don't think so.
Yeah. So, them trying to use that as like a gotcha, like a flag for us to come flocking to this their new location. I don't think it doesn't matter. I'm sure the stadium gonna be like balling. It's gonna be busting. It's gonna be serious. But I don't think that longevity is gonna be there for real. And I don't think it's gonna be too long until they change their name, because the Chicago fans gonna just, you know what?
Yeah.
Nah, fuck this. We ain't finna do all this.
Indiana gonna have a problem. People gonna be like, well, we should really call it the Indiana Hammond Bears because it's in Indiana. They're like, what? You know, you're gonna have a lot of old white dudes. You know, they gonna be like, yeah, it's in our state. It's gonna be a mess, brother. I'm telling you, it's gonna start off real good for like 2-3 years, and then next thing you know, you gonna have some angry white men at the city hall arguing about making the Chicago Bears to the Hammond Bears. Trust me, it's gonna be a problem.
If it's not gonna be that, it's because it's gonna be those L's that they taking, and if it's not gonna be that, it's gonna be the increased property taxes and taxes in general they're gonna be having to deal with to keep this. I mean, because like that deal they making, that's not coming out of thin air, you know.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
it's gonna be this big ass establishment not contributing towards the taxes for 40 years. All right, if that's the decision they want to make, then by all means, good luck.
That's what I'm saying. That promise, that 40-year promise, that sound like some bullshit.
Is people gonna be able to afford to live over there? I mean,
you're gonna have to raise property value. You're gonna have to raise
people over there may not make that type of money to keep up with that type of a program. They might start complaining about being priced out their own homes. You know what I mean? So
probably gonna start moving all the black people out of Gary. And shit. You know,
not Gary. They almost went to Gary. You know, they almost went to Gary.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary. Not this time. Y'all have Mike. Y'all. That's about all y'all gonna get, man.
Like Gary skip right over that. Too many niggas over there.
Yeah, Michael. Not enough love, Mike, man. We need Michael Jackson can't carry Gary for the rest. Y'all got to come up with something else with Gary, Indiana.
They skip right over that shit.
So, unfortunately, man, I'm not with this change. I think
man,
they should
me
reconsider.
neither, man.
I don't think Chicago fans gonna follow y'all to get to Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, y'all, we barely holding on with the name Chicago. We barely holding on. So,
if y'all want to, if they want to, from the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast, HT, AK, and also T'Challa here. We giving this a 2 thumbs down as far as a 3 thumbs down as far as the decision.
It's bad. Don't do it, Chicago.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we'll catch you on the flip side, man.
Yes,
It's been hard thinking.
man.
All right, that was fun.
It was, man, because I'm a major fan of the Bears, man.
Let's see. Still working right. That's not even close to my shit. People really showing love, huh?
Brandon, who on camera, Sheree? If you still watching.
Hmm?
I'm talking to some people on the
Okay.
I really want to know if anybody in the live chat, whoever's in there, if they want to give some comments on that Bears thing, man, please let me know what y'all think. Because that shit don't sound good to me at all.
All right. This kind of gonna be lengthy, but we can cut it up. All right. Who is this? They said Charlie Carlson. FBA. Okay. I'm gonna start this.
Okay, let's get into this. I'm ready for this. Cause you know I'm FBA, man. You know.
Okay.
And
All right.
These lights brighter than I thought, man. I should have took the glasses off when
It's good because we gotta trying to get the good angles and stuff. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, HT, aka Higher Thinking, and I'm joined today with my guest,
Sherelle.
And then we are talking about this. We talking about something relatively serious because this is very much so it's about as political as it gets, especially a time like this. We're heading towards midterms. We got Jasmine Crockett running around complaining about the disinvestment she's received from her Democratic Party and everything.
I like Jasmine Crockett.
And we got Donald Trump just simply trying to show us aliens instead of showing us weirder things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got some comments on that.
Yeah, the Epstein. Yeah, so that's so there's a lot of this. Is a very extremely this. I don't know.
Nice distraction, Donald.
That was
good.
That was a good.
That was good.
1,000%.
I give you that. That was a quick ass.
Hey guys, look at the aliens.
Right.
Y'all want to see some aliens, right? Don't y'all like that?
That nigga hit a Michael Jordan pivot with a fadeaway on us and shit. Like, aliens, nigga. Yeah, that shit was.
Yeah, sorry, but that is not. It ain't flying.
Ain't nobody falling for that shit.
Not at all, man. So yeah, politics is crazy right now, and so obviously politics is gonna land in politics is definitely gonna land in the laps of FBAs. You know what I mean? So the foundational Black Americans. So anybody that don't know what FBA or foundational Black American is, you want to explain some the simple concept of it?
All right, so FBA is a lineage, far as first and foremost the native and enslaved people of this nation here in the United States. So we believe that we are the foundation of this country. How I was just talking earlier about, certain inventions and innovations and just our contribution to this entire United States. We are the backbone of this nation. So we are the offspring of the natives that once inhabited this land and that was once enslaved on this land.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So tell about the delineation, man. Tell about the delineation.
Delineation, right? Okay.
Why is delineation important in this climate?
So the problem with delineation is that delineation is misunderstood, right? People think that delineation means that we have to be separate from those, of melanated people from Africa, Caribbean, that's not entirely true. Delineation is basically being recognized as an ethnogenesis group, meaning that we understand that we may have ancestral history far as Africa or even Native go, right? But now we realize that for over 400 to 500 years, we have been in the United States. We have our own culture. We have dance, music, etc. So we are wanting to be recognized as our own group and not a de facto off-brand African. You know what I mean? It would be disrespectful to consider us African, because if you look at any other melanated group of people, Jamaicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Brazilians, what have you, right? All of those people are, in fact, have some sort of black or African ancestry, right? But they get to claim their own ethnogenesis. They get to say, hey, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black. I'm not. They get to say, hey, I'm Dominican. I'm not. Hey, I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, I'm Dominicano. I'm no black. I'm Dominicano. So they get to
Make a distinction.
Make a distinction and delineate with no issue. It's just that when it comes to us, there is a problem, and I believe it's deeply rooted in jealousy and the fact that some of these people, they like to quote unquote tether on to us to get certain benefits, right? But delineation is not to be separate. Delineation is not to be against one or the other. Delineation is just please respect our ethnogenesis. Respect us as being different. Respect us as being the foundation of this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm here to tell you why that shit trash. And I was
damn.
There could be some complications, and there is some there are some arguments against it. One of which it does incite some level of division, right? And I don't think it has to, although I do understand. And this one of those chicken or egg situations where who threw the first stone, we don't know yet. But there's been a severe back and forth going on between FBA and the tether, or the African or the immigrants and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be divisive, but it just evolves to be that way as far as black social media is concerned. Now, mind you, FBA is just simply the lineage itself. We both agree on that,
right? And
so that any ideas that come from anybody that use the hashtag does not speak for the entirety of the group.
Exactly.
I am also FBA.
Right.
I also identify by other things such as Hebrews, such as American freedmen, such as a Chicagoan. You know what I'm saying? Right. We all identify for everything that we qualify for.
Right.
So I do. My people's out in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? I know what I can tell you what to my farm and all that. The street name is Turner Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hey, we stamped over here.
Yeah.
But there's still some challenges, some political challenges that came from this that we don't have time for right now, in my humblest opinion. There needs to be more. We need to be more. We can acknowledge our differences, but we are in a political climate where we are dealing with somebody that's outrageous in office, whom also surrounded by outrageous people. So this fighting is just came at bad timing, in my humblest of opinions.
Can I clarify something too?
Go ahead.
So just to make things very clear, FBA is not a group. It's not an organization. It's not something that people got together. There is no leader. There is no place of where you can meet. It is literally just saying that you are a foundational Black American, that you have a lineage, and I know you said that, but that's just what it is. There is no agenda. There is no goal. The only thing is to be recognized as an ethnogenesis group of people, to be recognized as a lineage of people. That is all. That's what I want to just clarify that, because a lot of people are like, oh, FBAs. I'm like, there ain't no FBAs, man. There ain't no group of people. It's just like the Black American people. That's it, man. The FBA is doing this, FBA is doing this. And like you said, one person's perspective on life and one person's ideology does not speak for 43 million plus people in this land. So I just really want people to understand that. So I'm glad you brought that up.
For sure. We can't talk about maybe in the next video we'll go a little bit in a different nuance. But for right now we can kind of keep it at that. But despite all that, yes, there's a really serious political climate happening right now, and one that different political parties have been trying to reach out to the leaders, right, of the let's say users of the hashtag, okay, not the group, but those that that really pump it in on the social space. There have been folks been trying to reach out in different Twitter spaces, YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. So this is just one of those conversations. So in this video, we're gonna be checking out Black Alpha Network and his conversation with apparently a Tucker Carlson fan. I'm not sure if she's a Tucker Carlson fan, but we'll see.
Make America Great Again hat. We know what comes.
Definitely a MAGA supporter
with that.
That's for sure. So.
And don't get me wrong, I like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? I like people who can just be themselves or whatever. But
all right,
he done started a movement out here.
People like that are easy to understand at the very least, but those motherfuckers,
simplistic.
I'll tell you this. I hate like Black MAGA way more than I hate Donald Trump. How about that? That's like the nicest thing I can say.
Okay, I ain't mad at you. Right. Black MAGA be on some other. Yeah.
Man, we'll talk about them one day. Let's see what it's about.
Our Health. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Ramona. I'm from Chicago, and I'm white. I'm working with Chicago Flips Red, which was started by 8 Black American Chicagoans who were sick and tired of being taken advantage by the Democratic Party.
Family, we know all about Chicago Flips Red. Go ahead and get to the point on it.
Okay,
don't talk to us like we don't know nothing.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. I just
go ahead.
Let you know where I'm coming from. So I'm a little concerned. I don't think they're foolish enough to go to the South next. I mean, they might be, but that would be a huge mistake. I think they're going to warm up to come up to Chicago next. They're doing a big pro-immigrant protest here. We have about 19 aldermen here that are very, very supportive. And I think that's where they're headed next. I could be wrong. I don't know. Just some points I wanted to throw in here. I was just enjoying listening to you guys.
Let me ask you a question. You said that they're not going to go to the South. Why do you think they won't go to the South?
I think because of what you're saying. The militias and the sheriffs in the South are very proactive. The sheriffs let a lot of shit slip in the South that they want. Like we have Tom Dart in Chicago, and they have, they just have a bunch of complicit sheriffs in the blue cities and up north. I don't think that's the case anywhere in the South. I mean, they might try to make a point in Florida. I think that'd be a huge mistake. But the smaller southern communities, I think that's an even bigger mistake. I mean, they're going to get their asses handed to them if they try that there, I think.
Now, let me ask you, since you're a white woman, clearly, what is the anti...
It's funny because he finna go to something that had nothing to do with shit she said. He like, man, check this out. I'm finna nip this in the bud right now, y'all. Watch this.
Hispanic anti-immigration stances that you hear from the white community, rooted out of racism. I'm not saying...
not near enough.
Let's talk about
we have nothing but crazy white liberals, pretty much, on the north side of Chicago who see helping the poor illegal immigrants the same as they see helping the Black community. They don't decipher between Black and brown, and that's partially because of the media constantly running that narrative. Black and brown, Black and brown, Black and brown. They have.
Does that make sense to you? That they can't make the distinction between FBAs and immigrant groups. That they feel like they have to just Black and brown everybody, and when you help one, you help them all.
No, I don't believe that. We clearly know the difference. I've actually seen a white guy on YouTube talk about how he knows the difference. So I think that this is just. I think when they do this, when they say, "Okay, let's get Black people, let's get FBAs involved," because we know that Black people, we are the moral conscious, right? We are like the moral backbone of this country. You know what I'm saying? We fought so hard for so many things.
We civilized this country,
right? And it's just like when people want to get elected or something, they come to the Black neighborhood. They want to get all the prayers and have Big Mama them all praying for them and everything. And people want they want our energy, man. You know, I'm gonna get on some spiritual shit here, man. They want our energy, man. They want our spiritual energy to help them get through this, because we have fought and survived through all of the shit that they done tried to do against us. And I want to say this, man. I really want to just be I want to be real when I say this. I remember one time I had locked myself out of my car. It was in the middle of the winter.
Oh, damn.
And it was cold as hell. I couldn't get in for nothing in the world. And I remember this dude, he came up. He's playing some music that I don't know what the fuck they were saying, but it sounded good, though. Hispanic man. And he helped me get my keys out of my car. In fact, my car was actually started. The car was running when I had locked myself out. I had one of them old Impalas, and my car was started, and he helped me. He helped me get my car door open, man. And he didn't speak a lick of English at all. He didn't speak no English. So my thing is this, right? I am not for ICE. I am not against ICE, right? I think that what's happening now, there need to be a better way of deciding who can be here and who not. I don't feel that people should be able to be here illegally as well as do illegal things here. And this is not your country. And people fight for you to be in a country illegally. I think that people need to go through the proper channels to be here legally. And when they come here, just do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up around Hispanics, okay? Some great people. They really are. And there is a good camaraderie and brotherhood that can happen, right? But at the same time, I feel bad for saying this, but this is not our fight. It's just not our fight. We can be there to support in a way, but we should not be on the front lines fighting for this. This is just not our fight. This is a distraction for us. We need to be focused more on reparations and getting our just due for what was done to us. And I'm sorry, the immigration fight is not our fight. But to answer your question, no, they know the difference. They know the difference.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to comment, the immigration thing is it's a conversation of itself. And there's a whole lot there to discuss and kind of go over. And I'm not gonna say at the end of the journey you're gonna be like, you know what, I gotta start fighting for these people. Let me get my my rifle. What I'm gonna say is I'm not even gonna really make any parallels to what we went through in America.
Right.
I definitely won't do that to us as a group. Well, what I will say is there is a lot. There are some things that, how do I put this? These are valuable people here in America for a few different reasons. I'm not going to go into that right now, but they are valuable people, not just to America, but also to our community as well. But and one day, like I said, one day we can get into it. But Like I said, when you really crunch in those numbers and when you start to understand, like, damn, these people are sacrificing quite a bit, and we are benefiting from it, then it's like that's when I look at it from a different way. You know, I'm not. I'm obviously not for ICE. Obviously, as a matter of fact, ICE is a horrible idea, mostly because of the logistics. Mostly because of what it's doing to mostly because of what it will do to our economy. That's the way I'm looking at it, you know. But does that mean that I think we should be on the front lines, you know, with our pitchforks and stuff? No, we definitely have our own fish to fry. You're right.
That's true.
So just to comment on that, that's where I'm coming. That's where I would respond to that with. But yeah, as far as regarding the conversation of itself, I don't even know if I even asked you. So let's continue on.
Oh, well, okay.
Shoved all the shelters in Chicago into the black neighborhoods. They have hardly put any up here because they don't want people to get a realistic view of what is going on. So they just keep shoving the narrative. Oh, if you're against immigrants, then you're against black and brown people. But the black people here have been shouting from the rooftops that we want them out of our community. We don't want this shit. So the white people just are oblivious in the city.
No, I asked you about white people, but you gave me a political side. What about the conservatives? I'm talking about the white community as a whole, because a lot of times when we mention the white community, it gets put in the boxes of like liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. And that gives them.
I got to comment on this real quick. Love it. Every time they can't help it. MAGA niggas cannot help but to remind you how racist the Democrats were. You know, the Democrats was the ones that started slavery. You know, it was Democrats that was all that filibuster the civil rights thing or what you dig. What do you mean the parties flipped? The parties never flipped all of these things. They it's like they cannot help themselves. Acting like we're all just completely dumb or oblivious to the fact that the current standing of the groups like the Triple K are very like visceral and long-standing Republicans. Every other like alt-right group you can think of, like the racist ones, the ones that are toting the Confederate Army flag, the ones that are still performing active lynchings down in that happened over in Mississippi after Charlie Kirk died. You know,
right.
These people don't vote Democrats. They hate people like Jasmine Crockett. They hate. These are the people that flat out said Barack Obama caused the racial divide in America. No, there was always a racial divide in America. You just didn't want to acknowledge it until a black president reminded everybody that he's black.
Or until Donald Trump got in office, and then it started up some stuff. Well, you know, I got a little bit of a different perspective on that, right? I think both parties are racist as hell. I do, but I think that the Democrats are a little bit more covert with theirs, so they know how to actually make you think that they're your friend. It's almost like in slavery times, you know, Calvin Candy, right? Where, you know, comes off as this nice, like, you know, slave master, right? But secretly, you know, they hate your guts. You know what I mean? It's like with the Republicans, they're more outright with theirs. You know, they're more like, hey, this is who we are. And I'm not saying, you know, the actual people that's in politics. Of course, they still do their covert racism as well. You know, you got Donald Trump, you know, making Barack Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys and all of that, and saying he didn't know. But, you know, those who are on the Republican side are more of, I guess we would say, the conservative side, right? They're more just like out with it, okay? Yeah. And then you got those on the so-called liberal, the Democratic side, right? They're more so covert. They make all of these little programs and do all these little things that don't necessarily help black people rise to the occasion. I don't think any party really helps us rise or get out of our situations. I think that one party keeps us like, you know, dormant in a lazy like sense, and then one party kind of pushes us to go a little harder, not necessarily helping us, but it kind of opens us up. Damn, we can't get no more SNAP, no more Section 8, stuff like that. I mean, stuff that a lot of us did depend on, whether we need it or not. And I'm not against anybody using any of that stuff. I'm not here to talk about nobody who owns SNAP or Section 8. Obviously we know 65% of white Americans is on that shit. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about all of that. But But what I'm gonna say is that sometimes Democrats can put things in our way that seeming like it's helping us, but in the long term, over the long term of things, it's not really helping us. It's really keeping us in a state of poverty and dependency on them. And I think Republicans kind of had, we in your face with it. But it's good because it helps you to know who the enemy is, and it helps you know how to fight the enemy, right? A covert op, you don't know how to fight a covert op. You know what I mean? But a blatant op, you know how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Is all of it is dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? I just like to know who it is. The Democrats don't let you know who it is. They get behind your back and start signing all these bills and making all of these laws. With the crime bill. Back in the 90s, and so I don't think either party is good. I don't think either party is good for us in this moment.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm X, and I'm a very strong supporter of him and his work. He did speak of Fox versus the Wolf scenario where the wolves will bare their fangs and show you what time it is as soon as you meet them, whereas the fox will approach you with grace and a sense of slyness to earn your trust, and then have his meat, have his way when it's time for him, when it's the most opportune for him. Right. I very much so understand that perspective. But that was met with that was introduced during a historical context. So like I do agree with Malcolm X, especially for his time period, that was the current scenario. In 2026, things are just a little bit different. As like on the Democratic side, there's definitely foxes amongst the Democrats, right?
Of course.
On the conservative side, they are some sort of fox wolf like crossbreed hybrid chimera shit.
Mm-hmm.
You just saw Barack. I'm about to call him Barack Obama. You just saw Trump host this Black History thing,
right?
Where they had all of these
right after he posted his video.
Right after he posted that video, and he had all his favorite black people, all of his favorite African Americans, having a merry old time, right, with their red hats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, it looks like a wolf that's trying to dress like a fox. But he has like the most like bootleg, nasty, like what's that place called? Five and below like outfit you can possibly come up with. You know what I'm saying?
Got the Dollar Tree thing popping.
So right now the wolves are trying to act like foxes, right? Whereas the foxes amongst the Democratic Party are still foxes. However, the only thing I want you to think about is we also had time since Malcolm X said that to become more embedded into this Democratic Party, where some of us are doing not the most, but we're doing things to push us in that to create legislation that also benefits us, that does benefit us. I'm gonna say right now, not the biggest. I don't necessarily agree with the idea that, well, I understand what you're saying with as far as it can leave like individuals to be dormant and stagnant. I get that. I just want it's just gonna. I think we can still have that push that the Republicans are putting us in a system that gives that pretty much appeases to our bottom end of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It requires us to actually push for some effort in it and actually make it out of those conditions. So that's all I'll offer anybody that's listening, for that matter, that that understands politics the way you understand it. But again, there's no excuse for all of the Democrats, right, that are still foxes that are undermining and benign neglecting American freedmen or FBAs. So that's where I'm coming with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense for everybody.
Notion that white supremacy is only relegated to one side, which I know it's not. So can you tell me about
it's
all
not.
white people, your community, not a liberal, conservative, a Democrat, Republican? I'm talking about the greater white community beyond a political perspective.
Are they more accepting of Hispanic? Is that what you're asking?
No, like what are the racial sentiments that you've heard white people say about Mexicans? And I am a black man, and I've heard a hell of a lot of racial sentiments said towards Mexicans from whites. So I know you've heard them growing up. So what did you hear? What's the main course that you've heard in terms of how white people, your community, feel about Mexicans and Latinos and illegals as a whole?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of interaction with anybody except people in Chicago and the north suburbs, and most of them we live in very mixed neighborhoods.
Do you believe that the sheet only interacts with people on the north side of Chicago, despite us literally talking to thousands and thousands of people right now?
No, she just talked about how she knew some black people that started some sort of organization.
Yeah, the Flip Chicago Red. Yeah.
No, I think she's saying things to avoid answering the question straight up. She has not answered the question at all. She didn't even give a yes or a no. She simply just she did that Donald Trump pivot.
Yeah.
She just completely just avoiding anything that this man is asking her, and she going into a whole bunch of this and that and this and I haven't done this, and it's like, just answer the question. Have you heard white people say anything about Hispanics? Simple.
Yeah.
Either I did or I didn't. All of that other stuff about, well, I don't interact with people. You in Chicago. There's a lot of black people in Chicago. You have interacted with some blacks and Hispanics. Come on, man. Come on now. Come on. Seriously. We all know back a little while ago, you go to Home Depot, they was all outside on Home Depot. You wanted to get some corn from the corn man. Come on, man. Come on, stop trying to pretend.
Yeah.
Let's pretend. There's a lot of Hispanics up north. A lot of them live there.
Yeah.
She's lying.
Yeah, my thing is, of course she's lying. It's lying for multiple reasons. You are in MAGA. You interact. You're in these little groups and Facebook and whatever. It's talking with these people and sharing their memes and stuff like that. You know how they feel about Hispanics and stuff like that. Like let's be for real about this stuff.
The main people that was standing behind Donald Trump on building that wall. A lot of them were the MAGA supporters. So we know the little groups they got, the 4chan groups and etc. We know. So she's lying.
People that I know. So you don't hear a lot, except that in the suburbs, the suburban white people that are friends of mine, they are really getting tired of the immigrant altogether, the immigrants. So I'm not hearing that, maybe in the South it's different. Here, we don't have a lot of racial problems. It's like racial commentary. It's more of the monetary commentary.
Man, I have to disagree. Dr. Martin Luther King said Chicago is the most racist place he's ever been to. Chicago is very rooted in racism. If you go back and look at Dr. Martin LutherKing when he went to Chicago, it looked like he was in Mississippi. Like Chicago is a very
that was during Old Man Daily though.
Well, think about it. All those people had kids and they still live there because Chicago hasn't had a reverse migration. Those people ended up going to Chicago. No, it hasn't been that long of a time. It hasn't changed. And by the way, I know people from Chicago, and I'm from 4 hours east of Chicago, so I'm not speaking as somebody who doesn't know Chicago. And the Chicago that I know is separate from the Chicago in which you're presenting. Okay, Chicago is a very, very racist place. As a matter of fact, Chicago is the most racist place in the entire Midwest. And it hasn't changed or gotten any better at all in Chicago. You can look at every single thing in Chicago, and how come the white community typically always brings up Chicago whenever they're trying to use Chicago as a proxy for black criminality? That's rooted out of racism. So that's a lie. That's a lie that you don't see racism.
I was definitely agreed that everybody loves to reference, crime in Chicago. That's like one of the staples across so many political sectors. It's so funny. Like I would hear, they would be talking about anything, and like I'm just trying to get like my little political fix sometimes.
Right.
And they could be talking about like the situation going off in Israel versus the Palestinians, and all of a sudden here comes, oh yeah, man, it's like black people and black people. I'm like, how did we even get in this discussion? Like, how did this even happen?
They always talk about this false, what is it, the 50% thing they always talk about, which is completely false, right? The thing is that black crime gets highlighted. It gets put up on a pedestal. It gets broadcast more. You know what I mean? Crime is everywhere amongst every race in every community, and it gets highlighted. But she was saying something about the suburbs, and we only worried about monetary things, and this is so much deflection. Like, this is so crazy. Like, this lady just will not just answer the question. It goes to show this is why these problems can never be fixed, because you have people like this who get a platform and they just begin deflecting and derailing into something else. And so they give all of this fire to everyone else that could possibly answer these questions, and they're learning from this lady on how to be very deceptive, and that's all she's doing. She's just being deceptive.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
In Chicago, or Chicago's gotten any better. No, it has not. And I'm boldly telling you that that's a complete lie. Chicago is absolutely positively a racist place. So is Detroit, a very absolutely positively racist place. And it sounds like you're dumping it off onto the South. Me being someone who grew up between the North and the South, I can tell you. So when I ask you questions about how the white community feels about immigrants, I don't want you to give me an answer that's catering to white supremacy gone, because it sounds like what you're trying to do is use us as a proxy for you not liking immigrants as well, but you still don't want to indict the white community based on their racism. So basically, in other words, translation, you're still running interference to protect whiteness. And that's disingenuous, very disingenuous, and I won't stand for that. If you're going to call out immigrants, then you need to also call out white supremacy, because one thing we've had a conversation in this whole space is that the immigrants are here unlawfully, but they're also dealing with white supremacy who does not view them equally. And there's no ordinance between liberal or conservatives. They both practice white supremacy, just different tactics. So I want you to be honest about the racism in the white community. And that's why I asked you that question, because there's this thing where liberals come to us and they want us to be recruited for their version of white supremacy. And then conservatives come to us and they want us to be recruited for their version of white supremacy. But they're both practicing supremacy, and they're both trying to use us as a catalyst for it. So I want you to be very honest about Chicago.
All over your page, there's MAGA. So you're contradicting yourself. I'm just saying you're contradicting yourself. You're saying you don't talk to a lot of people outside of.
So he got it right.
Right, yeah. I mean, come on, man. We all know if you hanging around MAGA people, they gonna say something. They're gonna, you know, yeah. He hit the nail on the head with that.
They're gonna share some memes, and you gonna like and comment on them, and they gonna comment back, and then y'all before you know it, y'all selling all of the you know, south of the border jokes that you can think of, you know. So,
you know, what I think what she was trying to do, right? I think what she was trying to do, like he said, she's trying to run interference for whites, right? Her side, right? Because not all white tea people think like this, right? I think what she was trying to do was basically get him to say, in a way that he doesn't like immigrants, or, you know, trying to get us to be against them by saying, well, it's a black and brown kind of coalition thing when we know it's really not, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's almost like me. It's like this is how I look at it with my perspective, right? I'm not gonna do anything out my way to help them, but I'm not gonna do anything out of my way to harm them either. So I'm not going out here to support ICE, you know, but I'm not also supporting illegals coming to this country. You see what I'm saying? My support is for people who legally want to come to this country and do the right thing. That is all, and that is it. I have no issue with people from other countries coming here as long as they do it right. And don't come here. It's another thing I want to point out. Don't come here and jump on the bandwagon with the white tea people, with the racist people, and start going against the black Americans here, man. That's another thing that I don't like that some people do. And while you do got some Hispanics who classify themselves as being white, right? Because that is true. I am still in support of them not being suppressed as we have. You know what I mean? Because I think that racism is one of the most horrible things that you can do to somebody. You know, excluding them from living a good life, right? And in America, we are built on freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And if you come here and you can't do that, are we really living the American dream or the American thing that you keep promising everybody they gonna get when they get here? Just saying, man, at some point we gotta realize, hey, this shit ain't working. The racism and the hatred and the going back and forth, killing people, ICE, you know, taking people out the game, that shit ain't cool. So, but no, I think she wanted him to she wanted to bait him into saying something that he can't take back, as far as trying to get him to go against, or, you know, win-win on both situations. Either you go against migrants or you for it. And then, you know, and I'm in the middle. I'm not for or against. And I think that's where he stands with that as well. My bad.
Just make sure it's like directly there. Okay. Yeah, so like she definitely is aiming to complicate the relationship between FBA and Latino X and everything, and everybody in between. And I'm glad he repelled it. I'm glad he knows the proper rebuttals to this type of courtship, if you will.
Oh yeah, she tried it. she tried that shit.
But like right now, we definitely, especially from my perspective on things, we do not have time for the unnecessary division, the unnecessary complication of the black and the brown, if you will. It's definitely there's definitely gripes with the idea 1,000%, but the intentions of the idea is I'm a person of intentions, you know. If the intention is to the direction that I like it going, then we can fix the problems along the way, you know. But if I'm following people with a red hat, they don't have the proper intentions that's going to be best beneficial of American freedmen, FBAs. So no, there will be no collaboration with us, because any correction I'm going to come with is going to be met with severe strife, right? So let's keep going.
Your city and things like that, but MAGA isn't majority in Chicago. We know for a fact that not only Chicago, but Illinois is a majority blue state. So by saying things like what you said, and then we look at your page and it's the complete opposite of what you're saying, I'm kind of confused of why you think we should even listen to your opinion.
Do you think MAGA is racist?
No, wait a minute. I got that answer. Yes, MAGA is very, very racist. And you're talking to a black man who attended 2 MAGA rallies. I went to 2 MAGA rallies because they are actively participating in white supremacy, equal to regurgitating white supremacist talking points, and also enacting racist policies and supporting racial segregation and racial spike vitriol towards black Americans. Is that clear?
what I mean, I'm looking for examples. That's a great statement. But
Well, I can give you examples. Me, as somebody who's attended them, I've actually seen people who are open MAGA supporters consistently use the N-word consistently. And these people are different. Yeah, okay means that they are racist. Actually, that's OKKK. I've seen down here in the South people who are racist and who harm, threaten, and abuse Black Americans while at the same time having MAGA flags waving in their yard.
Yep.
I've seen all those things. And also online, I've seen people who are MAGA supporters who call Black people monkeys and tell Black people to go back to Africa. So I gave you the social media version and the
and it's really easy to find these examples for anybody that think there's some cap going on. Like, look, man, you don't bother trying to defend these people. You're gonna be extremely disappointed extremely quickly.
Yeah.
I've seen that online, but
no. So I've
seen that online. She said. So why is she lying? Why did she lie earlier then?
Right now, she said first. She said, "I don't know. I didn't." Yeah.
Examples, and I've answered your question. What makes them white supremacists? And I gave you social media. I gave you real life. I gave you physical harm. I gave you mental abuse, and I gave you verbal abuse. So I don't know how much more racist can MAGA be. So, do you believe that MAGA is racist?
not everybody involved in it. No.
I didn't say everybody was involved in it. I'm talking about the majority and not.
Died on me. Thanks. Okay, let's hear it.
Let me go ahead and take it back for
This is interesting. This is really interesting. It's funny to me, man, how they so good at deflecting, man.
Oh yeah.
They have learned this shit to a T. Especially these people in politics, man.
Right.
Yeah. Tell black people to go back to Africa. So I gave you the social media version and the personal version, which I think.
I've seen that online, but that.
No, so I've given you examples and I've answered your question. What makes them white supremacists? And I gave you social media. I gave you real life. I gave you physical harm. I gave you mental abuse, and I gave you verbal abuse.
I mean, just to add on top of that, like if anybody that tries to like defend somebody's anecdotal experience, because there was quite a bit of that going on, you can like what president is going to sit there and dismantle or discard. I'm sorry, let me say it this way: what president that is not racist that's gonna make a concerted effort at whitewashing chattel slavery from the Smithsonian Museum in D.C. I actually wanted to visit that museum this year, and then here he goes, like removing items that was very integral to my history. A non-racist president won't do something like that, right? Not only that, but like I think out in Philly? It was somewhere, I believe it was Philly, where they was removing Black history, documents and items from the public eye and stuff like that. But and then there's like the executive order regarding DEI and the other executive order regarding indoctrination of K through 12 students, where they're saying that racial things are getting too racial in the schools.
Right.
I'm like, this is Black history we're talking about. I don't care what you want to call it. It's Black history that you're removing from these schools. That's not pro-Black to me.
Yeah, and then one of their main arguments is, well, we don't want white people feeling guilty. I'm like, what? Like feeling guilty about something that their ancestors did.
So you want us to feel like shit,
right?
You don't want to feel guilty, so you want us to feel like shit.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? No one's trying to guilt anybody. We're talking about our history and how we overcame it.
Yeah.
We're talking about how we have showed the world just like how just amazing we are and fighting through all that adversary and still coming out some pretty good goddamn people. You know what I mean?
Despite all this. Despite all the casualties.
All of that. Y'all can talk about all the murders. Y'all can talk about all y'all want. At least we got an excuse on why we murdering or doing whatever. What's y'all excuse? I mean, honestly, let's be for real. What's y'all excuse? Like Paul Mooney said, man, forgive me. I know this is your podcast, but I have to say this, man. But like Paul Mooney said, man, to be white tea and to not be rich is like a waste of like white skin. I'm sorry, man. To be white tea and not be successful in life is like a waste, because this entire system is just built for you to win. This entire system is built for you to win. So,
yeah, and just to throw my bone here, it's one thing. How do I put this? I think it's easy. I think the easy way of saying it is saying like this: the billionaires in this country, they all share one ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you are a white tea person is not feeling this white privilege thing, is what we hear that quite a bit, is because your money has been funneled to the top and your government allowed that to happen. It wrote it in for that to happen. So maybe y'all got to start voting a little bit different. Maybe y'all got to start being a little bit less hateful in your voting. And then maybe more money will start flowing in your pockets, right?
That's true. All you got to do as a white tea person, especially a white male, is just try a little bit, and you'll be successful. Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Rebel was right with the right.
Or have a parent that did something before you that was quite successful, and that's it. That's all you have to do. So yeah, man.
Let's keep it rolling.
So I don't know how much more racist can MAGA be. So, do you believe that MAGA is racist?
Not everybody involved in it, no.
I didn't say everybody.
She said not everybody. Oh, stop. It's not everybody. We didn't ask you if everybody. Let's keep going.
Involved in it. I'm talking about the majority.
Deflection professional, man.
For real.
Damn.
I said not everybody. Maybe 80%.
Not the minority. I didn't say everybody. I said a lot of them are. Okay. And I think enough of them are.
I don't have experience with the majority. I haven't been to MAGA rallies. I have been working 2 jobs to help with Chicago Flips.
I understand that. So basically, you're unqualified. So I am actually the superior of knowledge on this situation because I have been around a lot of MAGA people from the North and the South. I have attended MAGA rallies, and I have been witness to their racism. So you're unqualified in this conversation to speak on the racism in which MAGA actively promotes. And it's funny that you say that you are not able to speak on behalf of MAGA, but didn't you just speak on behalf of the whole city of Chicago? I have exorcised the demons. I mean, goddamn. You spoke on all of Chicago, but you can't speak on MAGA. So you have the ability to speak on all of Chicago when you're downplaying racism, but you have the non-ability to speak on MAGA when you're trying to provide protection. You can't speak on behalf of every citizen of Chicago, but you can't speak on MAGA and their open white supremacy. That is a direct contradiction, one you probably thought I wouldn't catch. But I'm too quick. You got to be faster than that.
I wasn't speaking on the entire city of Chicago. I have.
Well, you said Chicago wasn't racist, so yes, you were speaking on behalf of Chicago.
Chicago is very segregated, and yes.
Family. Did she not say Chicago was a non-racist place? Y'all heard it. Y'all heard her say Chicago is not racist like that. You heard, and then you relegated it to the northern suburbs. So not only did you speak on Chicago as a whole, you actually pinpointed the exact position where racism exists. So you were very scientific with who and what and where and why Chicago is racist, but you're not specific with the who, what, when, wheres, and whys about MAGA. So you're contradicting yourself. And where I'm from, we call contradiction a lie, especially when someone's trying to highlight white supremacy in a good way, but yet trying to lowlight white supremacy in a bad way.
White supremacy is never good. I'm not trying to highlight it in a good way.
My brother Black Alpha, real quick, I'm going to let you finish grilling this woman, but she may be MAGA because of the fact that she don't like the fact that Elon Musk and Donald Trump got into their little span and all this other stuff. And when you look down her whole page, that's what you're going to see. So I just want you to say it with...
I'm sorry. This is not going to make the cut, but I remember having this comment. I remember going to a Twitter space, and they did, not these people, but like motherfuckers, they will check your Twitter page. First thing nigga says, well, you ain't got nothing on your Twitter page. Like, what's going on here?
they be thinking you an agent when you ain't got nothing.
All right, but they just looking for. Well, yeah, that too. But it's like they would use that when they don't have no dirt on you, basically.
Yeah, go check out your Twitter page. Like, this motherfucker been saying all type of shit. Oh no.
let's keep going.
Your chest and stop playing with us like we don't know or we're not intelligent enough to find out that you're actually a part of that whole anti-black situation there. Continue.
What anti-black situation with Elon Musk? What are you talking about?
Really?
Really? What anti-black situation?
Ma'am, let me say this. Ma'am, you playing around is not disturbing us. It's really making you look foolish. There used to be a time where people like you would play games, and I don't know what, when, where.
There you go. There's a plug behind you.
That is funny. She is really on one.
Why? I didn't say what I just said. And black folk would get frustrated. Now, really what you're doing is you're embarrassing yourself, because when a grown person acts like they didn't say what they just said a couple minutes ago, and when a grown person thinks that they're going to say something that 370 plus people just heard and act like they didn't say it, that's not embarrassing to us. That's embarrassing to you.
All right, we're gonna cut off. We're gonna cut off on right at that point. But what are you thinking about this? All this deflection this lady has been trying to lay out, and Black Alpha Network's ability to reflect it back on her.
Man, shout out to Black Alpha, man, because he really, he got in on her right what she deserved, man, because she was doing a whole lot of deflecting and, man, just trying to, like you said, trying to put it off on black people. It's just like, ma'am, straightforward answers for straightforward questions, because I feel like when people start dancing around the questions, I feel like that's lying, man. Deflection and dancing around questions, that's a way you trying to set up somebody to lie, or like he said, she was trying to act stupid, like she didn't know this. A lot of people do that. All right, a lot of white people do that for sure. Don't try to act like you don't know. You obviously know. You're just trying to deflect, move the goalposts. And so he just like, I don't want to hear all that. I want to get straight to the point of what I'm asking. And I like it. I like that. I like how he did that. I can learn a thing or two from him on definitely how to talk with YT people.
True. So that was definitely, for me, definitely a lot going on there. But he kept up with it. I definitely gotta throw some praise Black Alpha way. I really thought around this time I really did get caught up with the idea that FBA primarily subscribed to like one political outlook, right? One political perspective, because I saw it so frequently online, just again, like looking back at the actual argument of it, the actual idea in of itself, it doesn't match what I thought, So I was grateful to see this type of a debate. Excuse me. I was happy to see this sort of a debate.
Yeah.
To show for Black Alpha Network to show me that they are on their P's and Q's in terms of this branch of this type of white supremacy. So, and then for him to deflect, not deflect, I'm sorry, but for him to take her to try to pass down a narrative onto him to try to recruit onto a political platform that is outrageously anti-black. He made the right decision in staying true to the foundations, right? The roots of what foundational Black Americans actually is. It's not a group. It's not any of that stuff. That's
true.
It just is what it is. It's just ethnicity. So so respect from him for that. But otherwise, you got any last words for this here conversation?
No, I don't got anything. We pretty much, it was, he pretty much hit it. Yeah.
So, I've been Hard Thinking of the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. We'll kiss you on the flip side. Okay, so this is gonna be the last place. Let's try to keep the ideas kind of on the brisk pace, because we riding I mean, 2 hours.
All right.
Jeez. Bro, I can never find my damn mouse. So this is a shorter video too, though, so that's good. Yeah, 17 minutes. Okay, yeah. All right. Let me think for a second. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, whenever you're ready.
2 seconds. I do think that Indiana was the best choice for them, yes, on paper and save money for the fans. Oh, okay. Some people. Like people not on all this. That's very true.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. I'm your host, AC, aka High Thinking. I'm joined today with my co-host,
Sherelle.
Yeah, man. We are talking about a very democratic video, so I don't know. They when they see those guns out, man, they might have to reprimand that second. My man came through with the Second Amendment.
Let me stop, man.
With the number, but we're jokes aside though. Yeah, man, we talking about more FBA stuff. Apparently the other side want to have they want to throw their hat in the race as well, as far as according to the FBAs and all that good stuff, man. For anybody that don't necessarily know what FBA is, it's essentially a delineated group. It is if your peoples from have not immigrated here from anywhere, and you have melanated skin, nice, kinky, 4C hair, and some others. There's high likelihood that and also that let me try this again. I got to jumble up again, a little bit tired. For anybody that don't know what FBA is, essentially it's an ethnic group whom have heritage spanning back generations upon generations in this nation. You can either be an American freedman, aka an emancipated, a descendant of emancipated people, or you probably just was already here before them people even got here. Those boats even landed here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So since then, there's been a whole lot of talk regarding who these people are, who the leader is, and all these other sort of things. But that's like in a nutshell version of what whom these people actually are, and quite frankly, they've been the talk of town across Twitter Spaces, YouTube, and quite frankly, all over. And there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of history that I'm not gonna get into today, but for right now, I think that's enough for y'all to kind of understand like where to how to navigate this conversation from progressing forward.
Yeah.
So in this conversation, we're gonna be listening to a debate between a Democrat. I don't know the guy's name, but he also will be conversing with Greg Marcel Dixon. Now, Greg Marcel Dixon was a hopeful senator, I believe. He was trying to take Clyburn's spot, I believe, and I believe Clyburn is a senator. I forgot. But he tried to take his spot. He was running for his place. Unfortunately, he didn't win. But Greg Marcel Dixon has been doing a lot of work as far as advocating for reparations. He's had a lot of conversations with.
Very intelligent guy, man.
Well, for sure. Had a lot of conversations with actual conservatives regarding reparations. Actually seemed like he had some good conversations with them as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna make for a very interesting conversation. But he's gonna be on the opposite end, and for anybody that would like to know ahead of time, I'm very much so a Democratic voter. So to watch him essentially turn from the party that he ran as to debate against this brother, it's gonna hurt a little bit on this side. You know, it's a little hurt just a little bit on this side, but I do understand. I'm very much so disillusioned from the fantasy that Democratic Party is the best party of all time and all those other things. So there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I like about Dixon, man. He's fair, man. He's a fair person. You know, he's gonna give you his perspective no matter what his personal thing, his personal feelings about it. He gonna give you, you know, what is the actual, you know, facts or what he believes to be the facts from a fair perspective, though. Yeah. So.
Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. See how it goes.
Yeah, I got a lot of criticisms of the Democratic Party. They definitely put LGBT rights ahead of black people. They definitely put immigrants ahead of black people, and they can't get elected without black people. We've given them 90% of.
I hate to do this quickly. I really do. I think people need to know that the LGBTQ is like one of the most highly funded lobbying groups in America right now.
Okay.
So that has a lot to do with how much power they've attained in the past like 20ish or whatever years. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. You know, LGBT is not only just blacks. It's
everybody.
It's everybody included, and if everybody included, that's more than just blacks who are. Well, we got some people who vote Democrat, some people who vote Republican, and some people who take the couch. That's split three ways to me. And then you got a group of people who feel like they deserve some sort of civil rights, and they all come together on a collective. So to me, I mean, if we want something done, that means we're going to have to all come together and be on one page.
Keep on.
Our votes since the 60s, and I definitely think that we are ignored by that party. But I'd rather be ignored than hated. Is it a thing where it's like fix the Democrat Party so they're looking out for our needs in America? Or is it go to conservatism where all throughout American history, conservatives hate us?
Both parties hate us. And you say all throughout history, conservatives have hated us. Actually, black Americans, we are quite conservative ourselves. We might vote for the Democrats, and that's because of the legacy of the civil rights movement. But that's not a phenomenon. That's a phenomenon that's recent. That didn't start until like the 1960s.
All right, stop right there. I gotta disagree with him here. Like I said, this stuff is again, it's a lot going on here, and it's very easy to come to this conclusion regarding the reason that black people vote for the Democratic Party is because of the legacy of the civil rights era, and that's very much so possible for the individuals that didn't think when they voted back during that time period. That is the vote blue no matter who type of Democratic voter. However, there's still very much so FBA individuals that looked past that idea, and then there was more bill reading, right? There's more following of what did this person vote for? What did this senator vote affirmatively on? What is the Republican Party's response to this thing? They like C-SPAN has been around for a super long time, and you can make clear distinction between who sounds like a conservative or a Democrat and whom sounds like a Republican. And yes, again, it's the Fox versus Wolf type shit. We get it, but like the thing is, when it comes to like having almost no power in this, understanding our position in this nation, how much we were left out of, we have to just choose the person that is, in my opinion, right? We have to choose the person that's less likely to like burn our cities down. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's less likely to be okay with things like such as a redlining. You know. I
get what you're saying. I hear you. Well, I want to go back to this. What you said. You said, well, we are starting to realize more about what this person may have done. As far as if we're looking at political figures that we want to maybe vote for, right? The problem with that is that some of our aunties and stuff and uncles and some people don't. Some people just vote blue no matter who.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that when he says it's hanging on the legacy of the civil rights is more so, okay, our some of our older ancestors voted for Democrats because Lyndon B. Johnson, racist ass, decided to sign off on the civil rights, and they said they was going to be voting Democratic for the next 50 years. Which that was true, right? I think that legacy of what had happened during that time to get blacks to be on board with Democrats, I think it's blinded us in a way to not really look and see what this person can do for us. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to disagree because that's the only way I see it, because some people don't. I was one of those people. I literally just voted for Barack Obama just because he was black and I was used to my family being a Democrat. I never looked into any of his policies, nothing that he do. I never looked into any of that stuff. I simply just went with it because that's what I was raised as.
Just to clarify, I did make space to mention the vote blue no matter who crowd, and I made the distinction between those individuals from the people that I was speaking on. You know, they did exist. You know, the people that actually did pay attention, they did watch C-SPAN, that were more political figures. Those people, a lot of them have been serving in office, have been serving and stuff like that, and they are just reporting on what they see from their perspective. Now it's up to people to. I mean, it's up to us, American freedmen, FBAs, to listen to them. You know, and a lot of us didn't. Most of us didn't. 1,000%. But like now, I think things are a lot different, and I want to give a little bit of grace to you. And I want to give grace to everybody else of yesteryear that voted blue no matter who, because information just wasn't as accessible as it is today.
Nope, not at the time, no.
Bro,
I was really young at the time too, so I mean,
man, and I'm speaking on the adults, you know what I'm saying? Me and my father didn't have political discussions for real, 10 years ago. Yeah. Now my dad will talk my ear off about politics. You know, it's like everybody is now politically literate now on a whole nother level now, and I think that's going to create a different. I think that's going to create a different landscape soon. Yeah, because we see how important it is now. People, I've never heard anybody say anything about midterms a day in my life until this up and coming midterm election. People were I think things are just changing a lot now. So, and that's just, again, that's speaking for now. What they're talking about is different because we're talking about a time when like strong, outrageous political propaganda being permeated in newspapers, TV, all of it, like 24/7, damn near. So look, everybody like. I used to be mad about, what Gen X didn't do. I used to be mad about what the Boomer generation didn't do. I get it now. It just wasn't for y'all to understand for real, unless you was actually even making the decisions. Yeah, that's true. And looking at the Epstein files, man, if you was making some decisions, they probably had something on you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a mess right there.
Let's keep going on. Does that kind of follow? You kind of follow what I'm trying to get?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. It was two different sets of crowds of people. That was
So we'll see how the conversation go.
I hate the Democrats and I hate the Republicans because both parties are lying against us. But the Democrats don't just ignore us; they hate us as well. How can you tell that they hate us? When they let tens of millions of illegals here, and they readily give municipalities millions.
There you go. Listen, come on up here.
Listen, man. The Democrats, and I'm gonna be brief this time. The Democrats tried their best to do something about that border crisis. They created a bill, and the Republicans shot it down 2 times. The first time they had a good reason for it. Well, at least if you didn't know shit, there was a good reason for it. It was tied in with the Ukrainian response. Okay. What people don't know about the Ukrainian response, because I didn't know about it, is that we are obligated to help Ukraine. The Ukraine has a lot of resources, and then we did dealings with the Ukraine, so we are contractually obligated to help Ukraine. Right. Now there could be more to that story, regardless, but that's to my understanding. That's what happened. But the Republicans complained that they don't want to vote on some bill that's attached to the Ukraine response because they didn't want to give Ukraine more money. Got you, or more resources rather.
Got it.
Now, the Democrats tried to give another bill that was only the response to the border crisis, and then the Republicans shot that down too, and it became a political thing where Democrats are now accusing Republicans of giving this type of thing, giving Donald Trump an alley-oop, if you will.
Okay.
So that will be my response to like I don't think, because when you just say they let them all in, they trying to it passes off as it being an intentional thing. Joe Biden never ran on open borders. It just happened that way, and then how do I put this? And then when we tried to mend the problem, Republicans had a problem with it. So that's all I will say about that.
Okay.
And billions of dollars while they haven't given us a penny for reparations, and yet, as you said, they cannot.
Fine. Yes, they did give no reparations. I got you. Can't argue against that.
That's a big argument.
It is a big argument. Let's keep going. Listen, I wish Gavin Newsom didn't do that shit, man. Over there. That's another conversation.
Man, boy.
When Obama saved America and brought America out of the Great Recession that was becoming a depression, the Obama administration literally had to go to a hearing on the Hill because of all the bad mortgages that were being given to Black Americans. And when they said to him, hey, I thought you instituted a system of oversight so that this would not happen, his administration said, we weren't concerned with saving Black people. We were just concerned with saving the banks. Obama told us that the government didn't work like that when he was asked about paying reparations to Black Americans or just doing something specific for Black Americans who got him in the White House twice.
Okay. So I wanna speak on this a little bit. Look, man, I'm surprised he said it this way. I can understand the direction he's going in with this, but you gotta understand, like, there's just after the Civil Rights Bill and the 14th Amendment, there's not gonna be any more race-based legislation anymore. It's like I understand people like to go to like the Asian hate crime bill, and maybe something to do. I think maybe there's something for Native Americans or something like that. Like, according to it's literally written that that Asian hate crime bill was something that's targeted the machinations or the problems that were befalling the Asian community. However, it's something that benefited every American. It's basically like bills concurrently can only be inspired by the traumas of a racialized group, right? Okay. However, it cannot be only that particular racial group that can benefit from it. So again, the 14th Amendment made it cemented that type of ideology, that rulership in America. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, it was supposed to be in our favor to stop white people from doing things only for white people, such as the Homestead Act and all these other crazy things. However, it also was a double-edged sword in that we cannot do things specifically and only for Black Americans. However, still we can still do things such as what Brandon Johnson and Lori Lightfoot did as far as allocating a substantial amount of funds to Chicago South and West Sides, even though there's not just only black people that live in Chicago South and West Sides. So that would be my response to.
I mean, I just want to know what would be wrong with a protection bill. You know what I mean? Like, we obviously know that black people we get harmed, man. We get harmed largely by police officers, sometimes other races of people. I just want to know, like, what harm would it do? Like, how could it affect anybody in any other negative way? You create a hate crime bill because a lot of times when things happen to us, especially from other races of groups of people, it be rooted in racism. Like the two guys who chased down Ahmaud Arbery, I think his name, and shot him. You know what I mean? Like, that should have been labeled as murder with also a hate crime.
Okay.
And that's all I mean. It need to be some sort of protection against blacks, because I think things like this are gonna keep happening to us unless we be protected, and I don't think that we're a protected class of people.
There's civil rights lawyers and stuff like that that I think specialize in that type of crime. So there's something for that, but it's not. I don't think it's that racialized. I don't think it's just that if it happens and if there's laws that coincide with whatever thing that happened to the victim, then they would be the lawyers or the attorneys that's more equipped to respond to that. But regarding, there was one more thing that you said, if I can pull it out of my brain. That's not coming back. Yeah, well, it don't matter too much. But yeah, so let's go ahead and keep going.
Okay.
It's not coming.
Yet that same Obama gave $29 trillion to the banks alone. That's not including the auto industry. That's not including the airline industry. That same Obama administration recognized and legalized the LGBTQ marriage by repealing the Family Act. We can go to Bill Clinton, who pretty much implemented the Three Strikes Act. But if you want violent crime going, you address the causes of crime. And crime usually correlates a lot with poverty. Crime correlates with a lack of resources. We also wanted a higher home ownership. We also wanted our land to stop being stolen. We also wanted our neighborhoods to stop being gentrified. We also wanted mental health. We also wanted good physical health. We also wanted reparations. We also wanted higher levels of black business ownership. Every time these Democratic shells...
Made a lot of points, but okay.
Every time these Democratic shells try to defend slow Joe Biden or Bill Clinton, they say, well, black people wanted the crime bill. We wanted crime to stop.
I don't know who this is. I think they always throw like these random. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, I guess that's what would be like the guy that he's supposed to be debating because he got a Democrat thing on his desk. My bad. But no, they usually just throw like, this is AI generated images. These are like fake faces.
Oh, okay.
I wish I'm tired of this AI shit, bro. I need to stop doing that. But let's get it.
AI's throwing shit off.
Yeah.
Of course we want crime to stop. We are largely a people who are law-abiding, but we also wanted all those other things. We want reparations. They don't make that happen, but they can make a crime bill happen and then try to use us as the scapegoat. We also want these whites.
Yeah. What do you think about that crime bill thing?
The crime bill, was an excuse to just rage war on blacks, man. That's all. It was an excuse to rage war on blacks. Yeah. So I don't. I truly, honestly believe that it was highly racially based, and they used black people as a way of saying like, oh, okay, you asked for it, but in reality, they wanted to do something anyway. They just really kind of needed a push, a nudge, an excuse to do something that they probably already had plans of doing anyway. It just gave them an excuse to. It gave them an excuse, really. Gave them an excuse to basically just waged war on blacks and locked them up for all the small and petty things. Now, I'm not saying drug dealing and all that stuff was okay, but the crime bill gave a lot of black fathers and a lot of black people way more time in jail than they deserved, when that money that they used to create a crime bill should have been allocated more towards rehabilitation, more so than annihilation. That's what it was. It was a way to annihilate the black community, take away from the black families, and create a divide in the black community. We all know that that poverty led to lack of resources, and so you infiltrate something like drugs in there, which was done by Reaganomics and the CIA and what have you, and you put that into a neighborhood and you give them that only resource to survive off of. Yeah, it's gonna create some type of crime. Basically, scarcity. You know how drugs, it takes over the mind. So it created a domino effect of bullshit.
Yeah. It's crazy because like the people that actually did foresee the problems that would have been felt the black community due to these problems. This legislation is the Black Caucus of all people. Okay. So I want people to know that the Black Caucus did some they're fighting let me say it this way instead. During the time where both parties were bipartisan on this agenda, this 94 crime bill drafted by Joe Biden and signed off by I believe it was I'm not sure of how Congress was comprised of at the time. Mm-hmm. I'll post it right above my above my head when I go into that post edit. But signed off by Bill Clinton. The people that were mindful of the impacts of the black community was actually the Black Caucus, whom were Democrats, just to give more money, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But still, these are some pretty important nuances to like that to that bill that people should understand before just outright shoving it into the eyes of the Democrats. Now, I do appreciate Greg Marcel going to a little bit extra nuance about it, but I think that little bit of extra nuance is gonna help people understand at least better of what was happening during that time period, and not just put it on black people and make us a scapegoat, as he just said. So,
yeah,
let's keep going.
Supremacists or wannabe supreme supremacists, we want them to be punished, held accountable. They don't make that happen. Now, if you make the argument that the Republicans hate us, hey, I can agree with that. I'll say the Democrats hate us even more. Because one thing the Republicans don't do, at least in modern times, they don't take our vote and then give us their behinds to kiss. The Democrats do that. The party that gets our vote tells us they ain't gonna do a damn thing for us, and they make us watch them do all the things that they are supposed to do for us, for everyone else.
Okay.
Again, I can't agree with that, but it is what it is. My only argument is we benefit more under them than we did the Republican Party. You can disagree with that?
I totally disagree. Because I agree with Marcel Dixon on this, because it has been proven time and time again, even with Obama. Obama got in office, and Obama really sat around and turned his ass up to us and told us to kiss it, and that a lot of Democrats do that. Now, oh man, so when you say that we benefit, right, from the Democratic Party, right? We not the only people that benefit from it.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Everybody did. Yeah.
A lot of people benefit from it. My only argument is do it make us lazy? Because nobody really looks down on white people for being on Section 8 or being on SNAP or whatever. we get looked down upon. Oh, y'all in that Section 8 apartment. Do you hear the fire alarm beeping? And I mean, we always get talked about constantly about being some type of set aside for everybody. But as soon as black people benefit from it, it is a problem. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying this. No political party has yet to get into office and just say, hey, you know what? We're going to really try and help black people. We're going to try to help our lower class of people who constantly get denigrated against every single day. Those people who went through slavery, blase, right? But they did it for the so-called Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? I'm just very confused on like what is it going to take for us to just say, hey, we need to separate from both of these parties. We need to separate from them and just quit talking about them, quit giving them power, because neither one of these parties are helping us or even trying to help us. The Democrat is just taking whatever resources they have, whatever government tax money, whatever they have, whatever they're doing, right? I don't know how they get the money to afford us to have SNAP or Section 8 or whatever, but whatever they're doing to do that, it is not directly just for blacks. You know what I mean? It's not.
I mean, you understand this is the richest country in the history of the world, right?
Yeah, I know that.
So we can come up with that. We can come up with some money for some stuff. You know, that's just to clarify that point.
We can, but we come up with the money for this stuff, but we can't come up with money for reparations. We come up with money for this stuff, but we can't come up with free health care for all people. That's you know what I mean. I know it's wishful thinking. I know it's far out there. I know it's gonna create some sort of inflation at some point. But I'm just saying that we have all of this money for all of these other things, but we're not doing right by the people who made this country where it is now. You see what I'm saying? We made this country rich. We put forth our blood, sweat, and tears to make this country what it is. Even when we got free, we created a lot of the entertainment, a lot of the music, a lot of the culture that everybody follows around the world.
Yeah, I received the point that you're making, definitely. I don't want anybody here to think that we can that reparations will 100% cause an inflation. We can it can happen.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
I take back. I apologize. I take back. I don't. It can potentially, if it's not done right.
If it's
you know
not
what I'm
done
saying? If it's
right,
not, it can
correct.
right. So
Correct.
that's not what I'm not saying that it will cause one. I'm just saying it's a potential that it could. Anything can cause an inflation, though.
If it's done
right. Yeah, if
incorrectly.
it's done. Yeah, anything can cause that. You know, the tariffs that can cause an inflation. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
A lot of things can cause inflation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you think? Do you think they're gonna call us lazy for receiving reparations?
Hell yeah, they gonna call us lazy.
Oh,
they already
well,
look.
I mean, I don't
listen,
that sound like we
listen,
can do much
they,
about
listen,
that.
They
then.
already they gonna call us lazy for anything we do. If we start saying, hey, we want to get more jobs, they gonna be like, you lazy motherfuckers, go
Y'all
out
should
and
create
make
the
jobs.
jobs.
Right? They see what I'm saying? They gonna say create them, make them. So we gonna get called lazy for anything that we do. You know what I mean? Even if they right now, white people all online talking about. Trust me, I can go to Facebook right now, and they all online talking about. You guys just want handouts. You guys just want handouts. No, we want our just due. We want to close that financial gap.
Yeah.
That has separated us completely. You know what I mean? Because you got the Indian Americans. They making the most money.
Yeah.
Per medium household income, of course, right? But if you look at it, I don't know. I kind of think sometimes they hide the truth, right? Because they go by household income. And if we go by and see what people are really kind of like, he's kind of living on his own. He doesn't really live here. Man, I think white people still are at the top. I think white people still have a large financial gap. You know what I'm saying? They figure out little words to skew the numbers, man. You know.
The reason I accepted that was only because we know there's a brain drain happening here. We just take the best and brightest from all these other countries and bring them to America to make us help us make more money. That's kind of where I come from.
Yeah.
Let's go like this last part, and then we can kind of wrap it up.
Okay.
If I can find it.
That's why I'm making a discernment between ideology and political party, because the parties did switch. And so conservatives were the Confederates in the Civil War. Conservatives did the Compromise of 1877, started 100 years of Jim Crow. Conservatives fought against the Civil Rights Bill. Conservatives started private prisons. Conservative Party did COINTELPRO. Conservative Party, like any negative aspect of what's going on in the Black community can be traced back to conservative ideology. I said in the beginning, I have a lot of criticism of the Democratic Party. I said they've ignored us for LGBT, immigrants, and blah, blah, blah. I agree with you there. But there is no place in conservative for Black people, because the core of conservatism is to stop Black people from advancing. Like, historically speaking, every big negative thing that happened to the Black community was from conservatives.
What have the...
Okay, so do you agree with his assessment of the Conservative Party in relation to Black, people?
Largely, yes. But like I always say, I think both parties have done things to make sure. I've said this on your podcast before. I think both parties have done things to make sure that we don't rise as a people. You know what I mean? I don't, like I said, I think that Donald Trump is the only president that I have seen or heard about or witnessed that got into office and did not directly do anything to harm Black people. You know what I mean?
His first term?
Well, I mean, the second term, I don't know about the Project 2025 thing. You know what I mean? I ain't that well versed on that. I know we talked about that before, but I mean, yeah, during his first term, no, he didn't do anything directly to harm Black people. You know what I'm saying? Now he get the second term and he's taking away, how we talked about the about Black history and things like that.
300,000 Black women lost their jobs.
Yeah, 300,000 Black women. He reclassified nursing programs, which a large amount of Black women do that. So, man, I haven't seen any politician yet who just comes into office and their focus is not on Black people, but in a negative way. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just what I've seen, and I get his point. And I agree with him, but I truly, honestly believe that the Democrat and the Republican Party, there is something about us that they just cannot fathom, just leaving us the fuck alone or giving us anything that's gonna ever help us.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Listen, everybody. I'm gonna get to my FBA friend here. Okay. I'm gonna turn him into a true blue bleeding Democrat, if it's the last thing I do. If it's the last thing I do. But jokes aside though, man, it's been a good convo with you, Kozo. It's been
yes, sir, bro.
This type of discussion is not gonna be finished overnight. Like it's a long process of conversation upon conversation to get to just get through to each other and finally make a decision. Hopefully, make the best possible decision when it's time to do so. Because I will say this though, if we both just thought the exact same way and then we just both went straight to the same solution, there would be less to account for had we both in comparison to where we are now. Because what I'm saying is because we come into this situation with different perspectives, we can both essentially help each other by looking out for different things that we that our perspective sees first. You know, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much the purpose of this here podcast. I'm glad I can have so many friends that just have different perspectives than I do, because like I said, we will create the best solution because we have the most eyes looking at the same scenario from different angles. And we all can contribute to the solution crafting based on what we all see from our own perspective, our own vantage points.
Right.
Hopefully that makes sense to people. Because I'm going, I'm tired. I catch you around, man.
All right,
This is Chicago Black Relations Podcast. We catch you on the flip side.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good night.
Okay, so yeah, man. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. It's definitely been a really fun discussion. You got anything on the horizon for everybody to enjoy? NFL surreal?
Man, you know, I'm just working on this comic book, man. I am just working on myself and just trying to do some things. I might be starting a YouTube channel myself.
Smart.
Because I love having these type of conversations. I'm more of a, you know, trying to fix the black relationships thing. So, you know, look forward for something like that. I might even be holding a space where I'm allowing people to come on and just talk about their problems. I can be like your online listener, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm working on. But mostly, yeah, I'm just, you know, just trying to get out here and get into this acting world, man. You know, trying to do some stuff with that. And, yeah, man, but I really appreciate you having me on, man. As always, man, the conversation be great. You always got some great talking points, man, and you're a very intelligent man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't coming to that Democratic side of the game no time soon.
But all I gotta do is just talk to you. All I gotta do is talk to you in your sleep. It's all good.
Man, hey, brother, I'm talking about
That's all I gotta do.
No Diddy, man. All right, brother. You know that's the new thing now. Pause. But nah, man. Hey, these are great discussions that we need to have. These are type of discussions that's going to change the world. Like you said, years ago, our parents and grandparents didn't have stuff like this going on. They had to listen to the news. They had to listen to the politicians on the TV.
We are the news now.
Yeah. So now you get to hear it from everybody's perspective, and it's really helping change in things. You know what I'm saying? Largely, that's probably why your girl didn't get in office. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, you know.
Try for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in Chicago. We got all like electoral votes out of here. We got all electoral votes out of Illinois. Right. No, I should have said I wasn't supposed to say that. Everybody vote, okay? You know, don't think about those electoral votes. Just vote anyway. But all that.
All right. Some people took the couch, man. Some people are taking the couch, you know. And I know that's something that you're against, and I'm against it to a certain extent. I am. I think that we need to focus more on local votes. Anyway, you know what I mean. I think that's what really matters is the local votes. But you know, I'm not against taking the couch, man.
So
I took the couch the first time when Trump was going against Hillary. I took the couch on it because I didn't know which set of evil that I wanted to choose. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know what I mean?
I got people that's begging me to like. I really got people begging me not to vote if it's Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance.
Oh Lord, man!
And they have good reason to. They have good reason. I mean, I can't. We can talk all because it's like I said, my angle is gonna. Well, I have two angles. I'm not gonna get too in depth with it, but the first angle is essentially we have to make the distinction between the corporate Democrat, the moderate Democrat, and the corporate moderate Democrats. There's one person, one entity, and the progressive Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, y'all can I understand how everybody felt about old BJ. And LL and what they did for the immigrant response and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's my only response to that for the most part is it's a long story. First of all, it's a long story, and it very much so involves America, not just the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem just fell on the lap of Brandon Johnson. So like I don't want to put on him, but despite that, we have not seen as much. We have not seen the level of financial investment in Chicago's South and West Sides since Harold Washington.
Yeah,
literally the last black
That's right,
black mayor.
And they killed him.
Please don't cancel us, everybody. No, but jokes aside. But yeah, they so that's my angle on this. Like yes, it's interesting that we are a sanctuary city, and I wish we didn't have to deal with all of this stuff.
Shit, yeah.
But and I don't like what happened to us as far as the property tax. I don't like what Greg Marcel said about Barack Obama and him dumping all this money into the banks and all that stuff instead of providing ease for American citizens, you know, the regulars. But and that comparison to what we can see from Project 2025, I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, it's like I don't like the idea of voting only for out of fear. I don't like it. What I will say,
people to do that.
The only way we can meet in the middle. This is how we meet in the middle, me and you. We're gonna have to home grow. We're gonna have to home grow our own politicians. They're gonna have to be essentially FUBU politicians. Right?
Yeah,
they're gonna have to be for us, by us.
Yeah.
And I don't know us to really. I don't know us to really put this, but yeah, once we start doing that, we can start playing politics in a more aggressive manner. Because right now we're only playing it in a passive manner. That's why so many of us are just voting for the couch. But I guarantee you won't vote for that couch when we have our own homegrown politicians, right? In the meantime, the only thing we can do is pay very close attention to whom are running currently on a more, and what you just said, a local level. And I'm not just talking about mayor and like the people around the mayor, but also our state senators, our and other representatives for in Congress.
Every other race does it though. Every other race does it. They homegrow their own politicians.
I just think we were just distracted on the things that make us happy. That's the only reason we have not done it yet. So
I agree.
Anyway, as far as me, again, it's what I told y'all earlier today. Y'all getting content there pretty much every day from over here. I want to see this channel grow. This is now officially my baby. Y'all see I got my rug over there. Joe's Marriage Carpets. I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, if y'all want to donate some pictures for my wall, some black folks for some political figures, I don't want no LeBron on my wall. You know what I'm saying?
not the flop king.
Yeah, I don't want nobody. I want nothing like that on my wall.
He's innovative.
I want my Fred Hamptons. I want my Angela Davis. I want my Maya Angelou. I want my peoples on my wall.
Yeah.
So look, bro. I can't have you here all night. So I gotta kick this dude out of my house, man.
I know, right? Because I gotta hit the gym, man. Come hit the gym with me sometime, brother.
I know, man. Yeah, fuck. God damn, why'd you do that to me? See y'all, niggas.
I'm gonna die from spitting on a piece of ice. I don't believe I'm gonna die because I got a bad heart. I don't believe I'm gonna die because of lung cancer. I believe that I'm going to be able to die what I was just the thing that I was born for. I believe that I'm going to be able to die high off the people. I believe that I will be able to die as a revolutionary in the international revolutionary protest struggle.
I believe that the white man has done a great injustice to the black man in this country by having kidnapped our people and brought us here and down to the level that we're on today. And today, instead of approaching the factors that their original mistake has created, instead of approaching these factors objectively and realistically, the greatest sin that they're doing now is trying to pretend that they never committed a crime, that they never did any wrong. And when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad points out the injustices that our people are suffering, they make that sin worse by accusing him of teaching hate, or by accusing him of black supremacy, or by accusing him of advocating violence, simply because he is pointing out the real factors in the problem.
We have a little time left. You don't have to hurry so much, Malcolm.